Down the Witch's Road. Hello everyone, welcome to my review of the newest series in the MCU catalog, Agatha All Along. The show that has gone through so many name changes, only to end up back at the first? Because it was announced to be Agatha All Along, and then it was like a bunch of different other titles that I don't even remember anymore, until we got all the way back to Agatha All Along. It is such a weird time, if you were following that news. And this is the sequel spin-off kind of thing from WandaVision, and technically also Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And it stars Agatha, who needs to go down the Witch's Road, where at the end there could be a wish. So, let's talk about the cast, shall we? That's what I like to do in these videos. We have Kathryn Hahn as Agatha Harkness. And first of all, I would like to say that Kathryn did a really good job in the role. However, I absolutely despise Agatha. Now, yes, this Agatha is the same one and also takes place after WandaVision, at which point she was revealed to be pure evil, and also her mind was trapped. So we need to undo that trapping so that she can go on the Witch's Road. And I like how they do that, even though I despise Agatha and I wish she just burned. But we can't all have what we want, can we? But like I said, Kathryn Hahn does a really good job in the role. I liked her acting, even though I hated her character. I liked her acting, and it really seemed like she had a lot of fun in the role. Next up, we have Joe Locke as... Yeah, I'm not allowed to say. So we're gonna call him Boy. Because in the show itself, early on in the show at least, when Agatha asks what the boy's name is, the boy's mouth gets blocked by something, and he cannot, well, he can't say his name. Agatha and maybe every other witch on the planet just can't hear it, so that's fun. But his mystery is actually kind of interesting. They do a lot of fun stuff with it. I mean, I guess if I was... I mean, even if you were watching this kind of thing weekly, kind of like with WandaVision, this kind of reveal is still not in the same realm as the reveals in WandaVision. Because the reveals in WandaVision were basically a slap in everyone's face. It was like, oh my god, Fox Universe Quicksilver. It's like, nope, it's Ralph Boner. It's like, oh. And, oh, Mephisto. Nope. Another slap. It's like, come on, stop slapping me. This one is actually an interesting reveal. And even if you were speculating about who he was, it does seem like a fun thing to do. However, WandaVision has absolutely made sure that I am never watching any of these shows, except for Daredevil Born Again, weekly. I'm watching this stuff all at once so that I can't be disappointed. But I like Joe Locke in the role of Boy. Next up, we have Sashir Zamata as Jennifer Kale, a witch who is bound, so she has no actual witch powers, and also sells scented candles. I liked her in the show, the Baldy. I liked her in the show. I like how each of these characters has their own kind of role to fill, because the Witch's Road requires different types of witches. So I like how each of them fills a different role, and I like how Jennifer fills her role as well. But to be honest, she doesn't really have much of a story outside of the fact that she can't use her witching powers. Next up, we have Alian as Alice Wu Gulliver. And Alice, sadly enough, as a child, was cursed. Well, at least all of her family members, or all the women in the family. I forgot which one, but they are all cursed. They all have a curse, and yeah, that brings in a fun episode. And yeah, it might actually be my favorite episode. I actually really enjoyed that episode specifically, where it focuses on Alice. I thought that was a lot of fun. Next up, we have Patty Lupone as Lillian Calderu. She is a fortune-telling witch who also is a little bit insane, and Patty performs it once again. Look, everyone here does the best with the job that they have. Just saying. I was more hesitant towards the character in the beginning of the show, but then as we got the big reveal for her character, I love how it all ties back. So my recommendation while watching the show is pay attention to things that she says. I like how her character works in the show. Next up, we have Deborah Lowe Roop as Sharon Davis, also known as Mrs. Hart, back from the show of WandaVision. But you might know her for her performance in the 70s show. But she portrays Sharon Davis, or as she's known in the show, Mrs. Hart, which is what Wanda, as they say, branded her as. I like how they still have the town of Westview just be completely horrified, by what happened. Oh, by the way, this is 3 years after WandaVision. But I like how the town is still not recovered from that, and they actually call it branding, because let's be honest here, that's what it was. What Wanda did, it's entirely unspeakable. It wasn't her intention, but it wasn't a good thing either. I wouldn't call Wanda evil like Agatha, but it wasn't a good thing. But I like how Deborah portrayed the character because of the way that the character is. This character is not a witch. This character is here just to be fun, and that most certainly she is. And then finally, for the last member of the team, we have Aubrey Plaza as my wife. I mean, Rio Vidal, and she also has a bit of a secret, and that secret Deadpool is going to very much enjoy. I was a big fan of her, the way that she portrayed her character in the show. She was just a fun character, okay? She was a lot of fun throughout the show whenever she appeared. Like horrible things are happening, and she's just having the time of her life. Very much enjoyed it, and I really liked her in the show, and she is also very much extremely attractive. And that is basically the cast talked about, because anyone else would be counted as spoilers. So overall, I thought the show was fine. Look, I'm not gonna be here and scream that this was some fantastic show or anything, but that's already never gonna happen because I despise the main character. So unless we burn the main character in Hiffle, which is the child-friendly way to say it, at least that's what Dragon Ball Z taught me, yeah, this show was never really gonna be high on my list. However, I will say this, I enjoyed it more than WandaVision, and this is also the first show in the MCU, post-Infinity Saga, that has felt like an actual TV series. Because all the other ones kind of felt like they had movies that they just extended for longer periods of time. But this one, it's like, oh yeah, I can see an actual, you know, like Netflix show, like the Defender Saga or something like that, and their episode right there. But it's like, it was actually planned out to be like this. And I love the way that each episode kind of like also ties back. There are big reveals that happen where in the beginning of the show, you kind of need to pay attention, especially with Lilia. But you need to pay attention, and it's like, oh, or when character reveals happen, it's like, oh, so that's why you were just laughing when everyone was done, I don't know, dying. But you were laughing. And that's why it happened, because of this reveal. Or it's like, oh, alright. If I had to say what the weakest episode was, it was episode 6. Episode 6 was, to me, the weakest episode, but that is specifically because of the fact that it went on for a little bit too long. Normally, I don't do these kind of things in, like, TV series reviews, which you will see more of next year, because I'm gonna be reviewing the MCU starting next year. All of it. Plus all of the TV series, including the Defender Saga, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and all the other stuff. Even Inhumans, so pray for me, please. I have actually not yet recorded the video, but pray for me when I get to it, because I'm about to. Closing in on it. But I haven't really talked about an episode that I thought was the worst. However, here, yeah, I thought episode 6 was, for me, the one that kind of fell off. But that's because of the fact that I just felt it was a bit too long. It's almost an hour long, while most of these other episodes are more towards like the 30 to 40 minutes in that sense. But overall, I actually quite enjoyed the show as we were going down the Witch's Road. It's kind of like when we're not on that Witch's Road, where the show kind of also starts to fall apart a bit. The Witch's Road is just a lot of fun to be on. They have great sets during the Witch's Road. They have great costumes during the Witch's Road. I very much enjoyed the Witch's Road. It's just everything around it outside of the Witch's Road. Like for me, the first 2 episodes, they took a bit to get into. But once we head to the Witch's Road, it was just fun until, you know, the end of the show, where we kind of just go off the Witch's Road. Until the final episode, which I personally found disappointing, but that's because I wanted something out of it that the show did not give me. So I guess that's my fault. So let's just jump straight into final verdicts before I spoil anything. So, my final verdict for Agatha All Along is going to be a good old-fashioned 7 out of 10. Like I said, I very much enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the costumes, but I hate Agatha, so that was already going to be a strike against it. And what they do at the end of the show, I personally did not really enjoy. And also, you know, there were certain other things that I personally also did not enjoy. But would I recommend you guys watch this? Oh, most certainly. Because even though I'm giving this thing a 7 out of 10, I will still say it is probably one of the best things Marvel has made in the TV side. Because I haven't really enjoyed much of the TV side. And this one was a lot of fun with some problems, while the other ones have big problems because of the fact that they don't actually plan out their show. I mean, this is also better than WandaVision because of the fact that it's not as dumb towards the end as WandaVision. This feels like the plan that they had. Finally, a show in the MCU that had a plan and they executed it fully. And they did not disrespect any of the comic book fans, because I have not heard any complaints from comic book fans. But to be fair, when the last 2 episodes came out, the whole of the internet was basically talking about the election. So, I don't know. All I saw when I went over to Twitter was vote, 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 vote. So I don't know, alright? But the elections are now over. Apparently Trump has won, so take that for however you want to take that. And please don't harm yourself, alright? It's just an election. Don't harm yourself over an election, alright? But that has been my review of Agatha all along, and hopefully a more positive message towards the end about not harming yourself, because you shouldn't. Comment it down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Agatha all along. Did you love it? Did you not? Or are you in the middle? I'm more in the middle, but more positive in that sense. And with that being said, thank you all so very much for watching, and I do hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if you're not done already. Turn on notifications, and don't forget to check out my Let's Play channel, link in the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys in about an hour for my spoiler talk for Agatha all along. And also, if you think that the packed week is done, I still got about 5 videos left for you guys before this week is done. So hopefully you'll check them out with a review tomorrow, an open box on Sunday, and a Dime Out review. Bye!